Hi, I'm Connor. I work in tech support, nothing fancy, but it pays the bills. Well, used to pay them until my life turned into this mess. You see, my grandma wasn't just family. She was my best friend. Every Sunday, we'd sit in her kitchen drinking hot chocolate with those tiny marshmallows she'd always save just for me. "You're the only one who visits without wanting something," she'd say. Man, was she right about that. My sister Rachel would show up only when she needed money or favors. "Oh, Grandma, the kids' school fees are due." Or, "The car broke down again." Always something. Grandma saw right through it, which is why she left me her house when she passed away 3 months ago. "You're giving the house to who?" Rachel screamed during the will reading. My parents sat there, mouths hanging open like they'd seen a ghost. "It's not fair! Connor doesn't even have kids! We need the space!" Rachel had been working on Mom and Dad for weeks before that. I could hear them through the walls at night. "But my babies need room to grow. Your grandchildren, Mom. Don't you want them to have the best?" Next thing I know, my parents are moving Rachel, her husband Ted, and their kids into Grandma's house. My house. "It's just temporary," Dad said, not meeting my eyes, "until they get back on their feet." "We're all family here," Mom added, arranging Rachel's fancy throw pillows on Grandma's old couch. "Besides, you're never home anyway, always working." Yeah, working to pay my own way, unlike some people. But it got worse. Last week, Rachel started moving her kids' stuff into my room. My room. In our parents' house, where I still lived because the housing market is insane. "The twins need their own space," Rachel announced, standing in my doorway like she owned the place. "You can take the basement. It'll be cozy." "You mean the unfinished basement with the leaky pipes?" I watched her rearranging my things without even asking. "The one Dad uses for his workshop?" "Don't be selfish, Connor. Family helps family." That's Rachel's favorite line. She uses it like a weapon. I found Grandma's will in her old filing cabinet yesterday. The house is legally mine, every brick of it. The document's crystal clear. No conditions, no sharing clauses, nothing. Just my name, plain as day. "Your grandmother knew you'd do the right thing," Mom said when I showed them the will. "Rachel needs this more than you do. You understand, don't you?" I understand all right. I understand exactly what needs to be done. Grandma didn't raise no pushover. She taught me something important. Sometimes the quiet ones have the best plans. And boy, do I have a plan. First thing Monday morning, I walked into James Parker's law office, grandmother's papers clutched in my hand. The lawyer adjusted his glasses, scanning the documents. "This is airtight, Connor. The house is yours, free and clear. Your grandmother even paid all outstanding taxes before she passed. So they can't just take it. They're technically squatting. You could have them removed today if you wanted." I pulled out my phone, showing him the text from Rachel. "Look at this pattern. Every time she needed money, every guilt trip about the kids. These messages about renovating the house, they've been making changes without your permission. New kitchen cabinets, knock down a wall. They're acting like they own the place. Document everything. Take photos. We can add unauthorized modifications to the complaint." Walking into the kitchen that evening, I overheard Rachel and Mom talking. "We should sell Grandma's antique china. Connor won't appreciate it anyway. Already listed it online. Some lady's picking it up tomorrow." My blood boiled. "That china's not yours to sell." "Oh, please," Rachel rolled her eyes. "You don't even know the difference between bone china and porcelain." "I know the difference between stealing and ownership." Mom jumped in, wringing her hands. "Now, Connor, don't be difficult. Rachel's just trying to make the house more livable." "More livable? By selling Grandma's things?" "You're being selfish again," Rachel snapped. "The twins need new beds. That china's just collecting dust." I pulled out the legal papers. "Funny thing about ownership, I had Grandma's will verified today." Dad stormed in. "You went to a lawyer? Behind our backs? Like how you moved Rachel into my house behind my back? That house belongs to this family." "No, it belongs to me, and Rachel's been selling stuff that isn't hers." Rachel turned pale. "Those sales are final. I already spent the money." "Then you better unspend it. Fast." "You wouldn't dare make us leave," Mom whispered. "Where would the children sleep?" Should have thought about that before letting Rachel sell Grandma's memories. Back at the lawyer's office the next day, James laid out our strategy. We'll file for immediate possession. But here's something interesting. The property taxes on their primary residence are 3 years overdue. What are you thinking? They're banking on this house as a backup plan. Once we start proceedings, they'll have nowhere to go. I leaned back, a plan forming. How long can we keep this quiet? The initial filing won't alert them. We can have everything in place before they know what hit them. Perfect, because I've got some calls to make. The moment Rachel announced their weekend trip to Six Flags with the kids, I called Mike and Aunt Sarah. They're really going to flip when they find out, Mike said, helping me photograph every room. Look how they trashed your grandmother's garden room. Rachel turned it into a gaming room for the twins. Grandma's plants all died. Aunt Sarah walked in with her tablet. I've got 3 real estate agents ready to list it. Your grandmother's friend Martha is a broker. She'll fast-track everything. Can we sell it this quickly? In this market? With this location? Watch me. Martha arrived within the hour, her face darkening at the house's condition. Your grandmother kept this place immaculate. What happened here? My sister happened. How fast can we move? I've got buyers looking for exactly this type of property. Cash offers, quick close. But we need to document everything. Mike pointed at the walls. Check out these holes. They let the kids use markers everywhere. Take pictures of everything, Martha instructed. Every scratch, every unauthorized modification. Aunt Sarah opened her phone gallery. I've got photos from last Christmas before they moved in. The difference is shocking. Add them to the file, Martha nodded. We'll need proof of the damage for the sale disclosure. My phone buzzed. Rachel. Having so much fun. Thinking of staying an extra day? Perfect timing, Mike grinned. The moving truck's coming tomorrow. Found a buyer, Martha announced, waving her phone. Local couple, pre-approved. They can close in 5 days. What about all their stuff? Aunt Sarah pulled out some papers. Already rented them a storage unit under my name. We'll document everything we pack. The next morning, the movers arrived. Every box got photographed, labeled, and logged. Your sister's got expensive taste, one mover whistled, carefully wrapping a designer vase. Yeah, expensive taste with other people's money, Mike called from upstairs. Dude, they've got your grandmother's jewelry box in their room. Add it to the returning to rightful owner pile. Martha walked in with closing papers. Buyers loved the virtual tour. They're offering 10% over asking, cash as is. They're not worried about the condition? They're planning to gut renovate anyway. It's perfect for them. Aunt Sarah checked her watch. Rachel just posted another theme park photo. We've got at least 36 hours. The storage unit's ready, Mike confirmed. Everything's labeled and documented. We even took video of the packing process. I signed the closing papers, hands steady. How long until it's official? We can close tomorrow morning. I've got a notary on standby. Looking around at Grandma's empty house, I felt a weight lift. She'd be proud of this, right? Aunt Sarah squeezed my shoulder. She'd be proud you stood up for yourself. Rachel needs to learn she can't take whatever she wants. Speaking of taking, Mike called out, should we forward their mail to the storage unit address? Nah, they can figure that out themselves, just like they'll have to figure out their next move. The security cameras Mike installed captured everything. Rachel pulling into the driveway, kids tumbling out with theme park souvenirs. Her face when she tried her key priceless. What's going on? Why isn't my key working? My pre-recorded video message played on her phone. Hey sis, notice something different? Check your email. 3 minutes later, my phone exploded. You sold the house? Where's our stuff? The kids' clothes? My things? Storage unit 247. Keys are with the facility manager, along with itemized lists of everything that actually belongs to you, minus Grandma's things you tried to sell. Mom's voice trembled through the speaker. Connor, how could you do this to family? Funny, I asked myself the same thing when you let Rachel take over my house. Dad grabbed the phone. We're calling the police. Go ahead. I've got the will, proof of ownership, documentation of all damages, and evidence of Rachel selling items that weren't hers. Oh, and Aunt Sarah documented everything you've borrowed over the years. Rachel screamed in the background. The buyers can't just move in. We live here. Actually, they can. It's their house now. And FYI, they're changing the security codes in about 15 minutes. Mom started crying. But, but where will we go? Maybe check your own house? Oh wait, James mentioned something about overdue property taxes. You had no right to look into our finances. Like you had no right to move into my house, sell grandma's things. Karma's funny that way. Mike high-fived me as we watched the security feed. Look at Ted loading their theme park stuff into the car. Not so fun now, huh? My phone buzzed. Aunt Sarah. They just called, begging to stay with me. What did you say? Told them my spare room's being renovated. By the way, your grandmother's China buyer returned everything. Apparently, Rachel forgot to mention they weren't hers to sell. Later that evening, Rachel sent a group text. Hope you're happy. The kids are crying. We're in a hotel. Actually, I am happy. For the first time since Grandma died, I'm doing exactly what she would have wanted. Mom tried one last guilt trip. We only wanted what's best for the family. No, you wanted what's best for Rachel. Well, now she can learn to stand on her own feet. Mike ordered pizza to my new apartment. To fresh starts and standing up to toxic family. You know what's crazy? I don't even feel bad. Aunt Sarah arrived with Grandma's restored china set. You shouldn't. Sometimes family needs a wake-up call. My phone lit up with a final message from Rachel. You'll regret this. Family is forever. Sure is, sis. And now you know, so are consequences. I blocked their numbers, all of them. Sometimes the best family is the one you choose. Looking at Mike and Aunt Sarah sharing pizza on my new couch, I knew Grandma would approve. After all, she chose me too. What would you have done if you found out your family was secretly selling your deceased grandmother's cherished belongings, items that held precious memories, just to fund your sister's lifestyle? Would you have confronted them immediately, or taken the quiet approach like Connor did? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Would you have handled it differently? If this story of family dynamics and justice resonated with you, consider hitting that like button. For more compelling stories about standing up for yourself and setting boundaries, subscribe to join our storytelling community. I read every comment and love hearing your perspectives on these complex family situations. Stay tuned for next week's story. Sometimes the quietest person in the room has the strongest plan.